I already know you good, baby. Nadia, how you feeling? No crying today?
Yeah, I did. I think my eyes are crying, but I don't feel like I was crying. I don't know.
Very good. As long as your eyes are crying, I'm happy.
Yeah, I didn't feel sad when my eyes were
That
crying.
means a release. That's a good thing. Letting it go. Angela, talk later.
Yes.
All right. Ashley, all right. That's all you gotta do. Love later conferences and talks. You getting you look a little sleepy there, shouldn't you?
I feel like, I don't know if I heard twice when you pulled us out. And I keep having the same thing where I think I'm up and active and then I'm like, we're still in meditation. So, but, so I feel like I came out early, but I wasn't all the way out.
Yeah, well, that's why I close the portals. When I end, I'm closing the portals. Because sometimes we can feel like we're jumping back in and jumping out. That's just your ego playing with you. It's like you're getting closer and closer to that ascension point. And so something has to kind of hold you back. So just throw something off. Just don't even give that attention. Just know, okay, I'm coming out. If I'm out, I'm out. If I'm not, I'm not. Okay. Doesn't matter.
I did feel that.
You felt like it came out and went back in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like Gold and Bond's bodies running at one point. And I don't know if when you talked about the room, I saw trunks, like golden trunks.
Okay. That's good. The trunks represent the foundation, the trees. Remember, well, I don't you probably remember, but when I was in Peru, I drew a picture and it had a stump. And the stump was signified the strength and where my core was, where my core values were created. Although I might have strayed from the core values, I still had a very strong foundation. I was very grounded, and that's what always brings me back, and that allows me to elevate, to move into a higher space. So if you're seeing golden trunks, and that means you're grounded in a very positive way. So no matter what happens, how much they cut down the tree or how much they take from the tree of life, then you still have grounded, you're still rooted, so you can still grow. Okay, that's what that means.
Regenerate, yeah.
Exactly, Osiris. All hail Osiris.
I saw Osiris.
That's my boy, Osiris.
As soon as we went in, I saw him.
Osiris take you straight to the Godhead, bro. That's the top one. You're not playing.
Was there somebody else in here talking? Because I heard different voices. It wasn't
Yeah.
yours and it wasn't yours. Because when I first heard it,
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I
So
heard.
I heard something.
I
And
don't know if it was
coming from
I don't know if it was the echo on that.
no, it was
Oh.
something for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some because at first I don't know because it
I
sounded
thought
like it was.
off of there though, but I
Yeah.
heard it too.
I thought it was an echo and maybe somebody wasn't wasn't muted, but I wasn't. But then I don't know. I didn't. It was just different. Christian, you got a question?
I heard something too.
You did? Yes. I'm not sure if somebody was muted or if the phone was just echoing. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, that might have been feedback. You have to help me with that, Nicole, and so I'll make sure that doesn't happen. Because I know you probably know the Zoom system a little bit better than I do. Anybody online got questions? I see Kristen got a hand up.
Yeah, it was just about the echo. I managed to text the person who has had it not muted the microphone, but that didn't get through until 40 minutes after we started. So, but still, that wasn't enough. It was still echoing.
Yeah, I don't know. It could have been some. I mean, that's just kind of things that happen with electronics. It's gotta.
Yeah, but it was also the connection just went off 4 times. It's like the Zoom called in, it just completely turned off, and then it came back in 4 times. It happened 4 times. So it completely cut the meditation completely 4 times.
Well, that's all right. I recorded it, so I'll put it up on Zoom and put it up on YouTube and send it to you all.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. So it was for me. It was this
Mm-hmm.
And but only thing that I got was blue colors, nothing else.
Was it light blue or dark blue?
Light blue.
Okay. Light blue, what I was feeling is a lot of throat chakra. And that's why I was doing a lot with the throat chakra bowl today. And it was the one that was playing the softest. So it might have been you and some other people are not expressing some things, or holding things in, or not understanding things. So it's that, you know, makes a lot of sense why you would see that. And it's a lot of the biggest disconnection could have come on your way because of that throat chakra. So a lot of it is energetic. You know, we always are creators of our own environment and what goes on around us. So I did notice the throat chakra was, there were throat chakras that needed to be opened, cleared out. There's a lot going on with throat chakras. My throat chakra bowl was playing at about 50% of all my other bowls. So, you know, for you to see light blue, it's understandable. Just means it's got a little meditation on the throat and clearing it. There's a actual meditation I can send to you. It is specifically for the throat chakra and the mind, to clear the mind. So I'll send that to you. That'll probably help you out.
Thank you. I appreciate that because it's not enough that I express myself because when you don't get any response back, and I'm not talking about you or anyone in that room.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. It's like you're just stuck there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, you know, it goes beyond that, and we'll have to talk about that in private.
Okay.
It goes way, way, way beyond that when it comes to the throat chakra. The throat chakra, all these chakras are not one-dimensional. They're multifaceted, so you have to understand. So one thing can lead to another thing, that opens up to something else, and then it's going to express through the chakra that it needs to be expressed through. So, you know, I'm not referring to any one specific incident. It's just the throat chakra, and it could be more than just yours. So somebody else even in the room was pointing at their throat. So, you know, it's a good thing that we're seeing these things so we can address them at a later time. It's you know, it's all about meditation. Meditation, where we're going today, is understanding your worthiness. And when you understand your worthiness, then other people's actions don't really bother you, because you know you're worthy of what you're doing and you're doing the right thing. So that's all you can do, and you're okay with that, and we move forward. But sometimes we get caught up and we feel like, you know, you should do this because of this, and you just never know. Everybody's different. You know, we gotta open our hearts and love, and that is the hardest thing to do, my friends. When something is disappointing to you or not what you want, to love the situation. Trust me, I'm no different from anybody in this room or on this line. I go through the same things. My feelings get hurt, and I'm love smug. I ain't gonna do this. You know, I want to throw a lightning bolt. No, but I can't do that.
Come on.
You know? But you know, we all human. That's part of the experience, and that's why I say it's not a sin. We're worthy. So once you understand your worthiness, it's like, you know what? I've done what I could do, the best that I could do. And as long as you've done the best you can do, the best you can do, then the response from the other individual doesn't even make a difference at that point, because you're living whole, and that's your worthiness. And so then you go on and you deal with God.
That's all I got.
That's all you can do. I mean, so then see that we sit and we hold anger or some animosity towards some other person, and we're lowering ourselves. We're not being spirit beings, we're being the basic human being. We have plenty of basic human beings around here. But we need to elevate from the human being and become the spirit being. You know, we can't be exactly. We cannot be average. We have to break the spirit of average. We have to move into exceptional. We have to move into excellence. And that's just being spiritual. And that doesn't mean not experiencing life. You know, that's where people get it mixed up. And like, exactly. It's like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I can't do that. I can't have a drink. I can't party. It's not about that. It's about your experience, because you have to come to earth to be your flesh to get experiences. And there's plenty of experiences that we have available to us. We're supposed to experience what we're supposed to experience.
Choose life and live.
Exactly, live. Don't experience it and let the experience control you. You control the experience. You know, we got to be really open to understand that, you know, we are worthy of everything. If we just live our lives, that means we're worthy of what we are told is sin. We're worthy to have that drink. We're worthy to have that smoke. We're worthy to have that party, or whatever we want to do. We're worthy to do that. But so you can't just let it overtake you and consume you. experience it, enjoy it, move from it. You know,
And
that's
you
what I'm
ready to
saying.
get your ass kicked too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And get up behind it. You know what I'm saying? And say, thank you.
I agree with you to a certain point, but that means that you just have to walk away all the time because humans, they continue to be humans and they will continue to do what they do. They're humans, so you always have to just walk
Yeah,
away.
you do.
And then again,
But
walk away.
right,
and
but
then again,
but you know,
away.
walking away is winning, because if you stop and don't walk away and you give them your energy, you're losing. I mean, it's like, do you want to win or you want to win? Do you want to win or you want to love? You know, what do you want to do? If you want to win because somebody's doing this, and you want to just I'm gonna attack, or I'm gonna be this way, I'm gonna be angry. Okay, that's fine. That's your choice. But that's not walking away. You just got stomped on because you just gave your energy to the system or to the situation.
It's not, but you know, it's not for winning, remember.
That's what I just said. It's not. It's about loving. So when you love, it don't matter. Because that person is expressing the way they express. When you love, it doesn't make a difference. Because you've done your best. They've done their best, or whatever their best is, but if their best doesn't equal your best, it's not for us to judge that. That's loving somebody for who they are. Acceptance. I mean, it's simple. So you got your point. I understand it. I do. Just like, I don't agree, but people don't agree with me, but it's okay. I still love you. It is what it is. I just know I've been there. And when you hold that feeling, that's going into your lower self. That's submitting to an emotion that's in the ego. You just have to realize that. Always check it. And trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy to do the right thing. It's not easy to be spiritual. It's not. I'm not going to sit here and say it is. But when you get to the point where you understand what being spiritual is, then making those decisions do become easy. Because you completely are walking away from the human aspect of the person and you let them be who they are. The Four Agreements is one of the best books you can ever read. The first thing is do not take it personal when anybody does. That's the first thing. Don't take nothing personal.
Man.
The Four Agreements. The Four Agreements. It's a very simple book. You read it in the afternoon. It's the Four Agreements. Read it, and it's boy, I tell you, you might clench up on some of the stuff he says, but it's the truth. Because when you clenching up and you realize you giving your power to somebody else or something else. Trust me, I been there, done it. I got plenty of experiences.
It's good to have someone in your life that can speak that to you during that time.
Exactly. It's really good for somebody to tell you the truth because everybody else will tell you, no, that ain't right. This, do this, do that.
Read that.
The law of one quote.
It's,
Okay, the whole thing? All right.
it does go back well with what you just said.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to read this. Miss Angela gave this to me to read. It says the law of one quotes, right? Okay. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite creator. The mission before each of you is simply to address all of that which comes to you within an open heart. Just that. You see, it is the love with which you do things which radiates. It is not the things that you do. The proper role of the entity is in the destiny to experience all things desired, to then analyze, understand, and accept these experiences, distilling from them the love light within them. Nothing shall be overcome, that which is not needed, and that which is not needed falls away. So it's simple. We're here to experience. Enjoy it. If we have an experience that's a little tough for us, it's an experience. Receive it. Learn from it. What I learned, a simple lesson. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. And you thank the person for that experience. And that's what makes you grow. Because we can thank the person that, wrongs us, hurts us, or gives us that valuable lesson. That's how we have to look at it. Thank the person for giving us that valuable lesson. But that's a very difficult thing to do because that means shed the ego.
Right.
It's hard to do it. And it's a process. And everybody, we're all here to help each other to move into that space. Because the ego is something that's very difficult to check.
I feel like I'm fighting my ego sometimes. Like I'm fighting it. Like once you become aware of it, it's like I'm fighting with it.
Right.
So I'm like over here, then over there, then over feel like it's like
Yeah, because you
pulling me apart.
Yeah, because you see every aspect of the ego, how it actually is ruling your life. And that's what's ripping you apart, is because you're like, damn, how did I get to this space? Like, how am I
Like
torn?
sometimes now I think like the nerve of me.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Well, that's all part of the process. But what you do when you feel that nerve, like, oh, the nerve of me, laugh about it, because you remember that's an experience. Because now you just realize that. And by realizing that, you're starting the healing process, if not healing. Just by simply saying, man, that's great. What am I doing? Don't fight yourself for it for a long time. Open yourself to it, understand it, and then release it. Because the fight within is part of the ego to say, oh, I got another way to trick you. I'm gonna make you fight yourself. And when you fight yourself, your vibration lowers, and then you go back into that humanity or people that you're into. Yes, Ms. Barber.
I'm just curious, we're talking about the ego here,
Mhm.
and it seems that it came to surface once we entered this earth world.
Mhm.
I don't recall it being with us before that.
Correct.
So is it here to help us in some way, and then we allow it to take over?
That's a good question. Is the ego here to help us, or does it, because first of all, you're correct. We're not born with egos. As a spirit, the spirit doesn't have the ego. The ego comes once you come into the human body. Now, we ask for the egos because the human body, well, not the human body, but the human being, when we were actually 3,000 years ago able to hold our hands up and say, sun, stop, moon, hold, we were spirit beings. When we were spirit beings, we could say, I want food. Apple just appears. Meat or whatever just appears.
Come on, Sean.
And then you look around, the house just appears. It's because as spirit beings, we manifest with the creator. So our minds all of a sudden create exactly what we want. Now, because that was happening so often, the flesh part of us decided to say, we're not worthy of this. We're not worthy. We just talked about this. The flesh made us feel we're not worthy. So we decided we should have to work, improve ourselves,
Worthy.
but to be worthy, to be worthy, and to deserve the infinite creations. So now, as an infinite being, we just dumbed ourselves down so that we can literally become or be the being that now has to subserve another cause. And so as we became subservient to another cause, which is the ego, because now the ego tells us when we've done enough to be worthy to receive. So that's what the ego does. So were we born with it? No. We as old human beings created because we got something too easy. I had a guy explain to me a long time ago, and this is just, I'm going to throw this out to everybody. If you go to a restaurant, a fine restaurant, you dine, and the food is exquisite, Barbara, I'll take you out. Say, hey, this meal, come on with me. You're like, okay, well, that's an expensive restaurant, but I'm going to go. So you go with me the first time I take you, the bill's $1,500. I paid for it. You like, oh, wow, Derek, I'm really appreciative. Wow, that's cool. That was great. The next time I call you, this bar, let's go back to the same restaurant. Okay. So we go back, eat. Well, no, don't pay nothing. Pay it again. Oh, no. Next time, okay. Hey, let's go back out there. You're like, I don't know. It's just, I don't feel right. Am I not? Is that true? Is that true?
That's exactly right.
Because if somebody keeps giving you stuff, then all of a sudden you're like, I'm not worried. What's the catch here?
Or there should be some exchange.
There should be some exchange.
Yeah.
But with God, there's no exchange. When we create through the Creator, there is no exchange. When we create through the Creator, there is no exchange. We as human beings feel there should be an exchange. There is no exchange. If we would live as spirits, we don't need exchange, because it's automatically just going to appear to us. And if you're good enough, if you practice enough as a human being, as a lower human being, you can literally come into that understanding, and you can literally trick your ego, and you will create out of nowhere. I've seen people, mentors of mine, that would say they want stuff, and boom, the next day it's right there, shows up at the doorstep, and somebody just gives it to them. It doesn't quite happen like whoop, it disappears. Now it can, but they will literally say, I want something. Yeah, they get all happy and giddy about it. The next day, boom, shows up.
That's because they really truly believe that.
Exactly. But it's hard because the ego, we got so many layers over that ego now. Because The ego wants to have control because remember, we gave the ego control to say, govern us.
But do you notice that it's usually those people who tell other people who are seeking that, like, say this, believe this, and they'll try to, and it doesn't happen because they don't really truly believe that, or they've never experienced that, or they've never had those things.
Right,
So that's
true.
why it never happens.
Right, and it's very hard for somebody who's trying to learn it and just is seeking it because until you can experience it, it's difficult to know it. Now, this is how you fix that. I was taught by a mentor. If you want to manifest things, yeah, if you want $1 million, okay, first of all, if you don't see $1 million in your bank account, if you don't see $1 million cash in front of you, you consciously, physically don't have $1 million. So that's your belief system. But somebody who is a spirit being who doesn't need to have that belief system, they believe it, all of a sudden $1 million shows up to them. Now, how does somebody who doesn't understand that concept of a spirit being versus a human being, how do you build to the point where you can build $1 million just to come to you? All you have to do is start small. First of all, say, you know, I manifested 10 cents or 20 cents. I found $1 on the ground. I found this. So you start very small. The first thing that I was taught to do was start to manifest parking spaces in a crowded space. If you can start doing that, then you start believing there's a higher power working. As soon as you believe that there's a higher power working, then all of a sudden your mind switches and the switch comes on and you can start to manifest other things. Now,
I said it works with vitamin C.
yeah, exactly. Well, it works with anything, but you just have to practice. And it's just practice with small things first. Things that you know you can manifest. I mean,
I'm a manifester.
Exactly what we know you
I'm a
are. I mean, that's
manifester.
just,
Sometimes I'll be like,
exactly.
did I ask for that? Subconsciously, I think I did.
And you know, that's the thing, that's a key point. Because we manifest everything we know. Remember I taught you a while ago, every second of the day we're manifesting through our thoughts. But the thoughts we're manifesting are the thoughts that we know. So if we know hurt and pain surfaces and starts to come to us. Because the highest belief system wins. All the time, the highest belief system wins. And that goes with you and yourself.
Sometimes you believe things because you've experienced them, and sometimes you have things that counteract with that because you believe things that you feel.
Right.
So sometimes that is also a battle.
Yeah, it's a big battle. It is. It's a big battle because you can experience something, or you can feel something, you can have a track record of doing this, but then you can have a belief of doing this, and then they can be opposite, and they can start to battle each other. But remember, the highest consciousness wins, and you can have a consciousness within inside yourself that battles another consciousness. We all do. I mean, it's a practice.
So manifestation isn't just a matter of manifesting positive things. It's negative as well.
Manifestation.
So we're all manifesting.
What
period.
we know.
Yeah, what's up here, and what's in here.
What we know. It just what's in here, what's up here, what we know.
Right.
And what we know is in our hearts.
Right.
You know, and it's
good,
like
bad, or indifferent.
Exactly. Manifestation can be good, bad, or indifferent, like you said. It can be anything.
That's why those thoughts are so important.
Very important. Right. It's very important to keep positive thoughts. So when we're in a negative situation, start thinking positive things, and you'll start to create a different paradigm around you. So just always remember that. Think about you are the creator of your own destiny. You're the creator of your own life all the time. You and you alone. So if something came into your life that you don't like, you created it. If you can admit that, then you can change it. But if you can't admit that, good luck. Have fun. The ego's gonna ride you up and down that river for like you never, ever understood. You know. But it's just we have to understand our own power. Remember, I said we spirit beings. A man stopped the sun from moving. Stopped the moon from moving. And it's actually recorded.
It's recorded.
So that's the power we have. Now, everybody's maturity of the soul is different. So tapping into how much you can actually do is something different. I mean, even the elements, the air, the water, the fire, earth. If you learn, you can start to manipulate those things. And it's not hard to do. It's not hard to master those elements. Now, the sun and the moon, that's something a little different. But the other elements, weather, that weather is easy to master. The consciousness of the weather is very low. Very low.
What's the panther for?
The panther? The panther is the earthly energies. It's the grounding. It's the root chakra. The panther is your primal instincts. Like in Peru, we see the panthers and the snakes. That's the primal instincts. The dark black panthers or the panthers are, they represent the animalistic side of your primal energies, the root chakra, everything that's in this physical space. But the panthers are good. They're all over the pictures of from Peru.
Oh, cause I was at work last night and I just saw a herd of them walking in the spirit form in the hallway, and I was like, wait a minute, what was that? Okay, but I just remember Peru and your picture in there.
Yeah, panthers are earthly. That means there's the earthly energies around, primal energies. Cool. Sorry, I got on my little soapbox there for a minute.
Thank you.
Great
No, thank
discussion,
you.
though.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You are welcome. Daisy, doing all right?
Yes, I'm doing fine. I'm grateful, you know, and I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to everyone that's in the room. And when we were in meditation, I saw like a rich royal blue, like color just swirling around.
Metatron. Yeah, that's Archangel Metatron. That means you have a connection to him. Do some research on that. Archangel Metatron. Metron.
Okay, now I'm feeling good. My headache went away.
Good deal. Yeah, Metatron is in the third eye chakra, but Metatron is a very powerful archangel. Very powerful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else got any questions? I see 3 hands raised or 3 hands up. Randy, you got a question?
Yes, I'll make mine really quick. I'm interested in the concept of faith the size of a mustard seed.
All right, let's go ahead.
Can you guys talk more about that? Because I've personally been dealing with debilitating pain for the past month, and it's hard. It's really hard to have faith in my healing, and I have it sometimes, but then when it's so bad, I feel so helpless. And you talked about stopping the sun and the moon. It seems like you need more faith than the size of a mustard seed to do that.
Well, the size of a mustard seed basically is where faith starts. If you can have that much faith, you can have enough faith to move a mountain. Because the faith of a mustard seed, and Mark Sheriel can share the story with you, is this, that's the amount you have to have. Now, faith is something totally different from fear. A lot of times we want to have faith, and we have faith until we feel the pain, until we feel the actuality of what's happening to us physically. And when we feel that, we go into a state of fear and we panic, and that's when we lose faith. When Christ, who was it, had the disciple Paul walk on the water.
Yeshua.
Yeshua, okay. Yeshua,
Uh-huh.
when he did, he said you have to have 100% faith. You can't have one doubt. So that one little bit of doubt made him fall into the water when he was walking on the water. And so that's the same thing as the faith of a mustard seed. If you have enough faith as the size of a mustard seed, that is all you need. It's when you have one shaving of a doubt on that mustard seed, that's when you lose faith and it goes into something different. So what you're doing, and you're experiencing something that is very real and something that's very difficult to handle, because it's pain. You know, I was telling Mark Sheriel, I had a coach years ago that used to tell us, fatigue makes cowards of us all. So when you get tired, you quickly you want to quit. And it's the same thing with pain. When you have pain, we quickly want to quit. And it's very difficult for us to stay in that positive mind state. So what we have to do is find ways to find the faith of the size of a mustard seed, just something that allows us to hold on, and then we can hold on to that and make it bigger and to heal us from the pain. So what you're going through is real, and it's difficult because it's the reality is something that alters you, and it alters you physically, and that is a difficult thing to have faith going through. And you can tell the story about it.
Man, yeah, I shared it yet. First of all, let me say, after this conversation, I would refer you to the book of Job, written in the scriptures about a man that had suffered under pain that's unbelievable. Every torment that this human body can withstand, he went under it, right? So much so that, I mean, he was like, even his wife came up and said, she asked him, she said, do you still hold fast to your integrity? She said, curse this God you got and die. You know what I'm saying? That's how miserable he appeared, that he was like, she couldn't even take it. Listen, at the point, the precipice, when you can't stand no more, you know, you beyond screams and hollers, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like knives sticking you from top to bottom, you know, then it's on you. It becomes this mustard seed principle comes to you. You call it. You call it. You call on God or you call on the devil at that point, right? When I can't take no more, right? But that's when this spirit, this spirit of the Most High is waiting for you. Just waiting at that moment. Just say, I mean, Most High, I mean, come on now. You know, that's when it entered in. And that's when you get this, you can't even believe this spirit to come on you that like, come on, devil. You know what I'm saying? Come on. The God in me can defeat the devil in you. And that's where it is. It's beyond human imagination. That's why the mustard seed, how many years do it take? You sit there and watch it 40 years, then your son come and watch, and your grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? Because it's beyond human imagination. Spirit is beyond human imagination. And that's what you got to call on. Kadima Ya'umillah. It's beyond human imagination. Right? Lahina Lev Shu means to be born again. And at that moment, that's where they bring that scenario about Paul coming from a Roman tax collector to one of the greatest supposed, how would you say, disciples of Jesus that he never knew, whose name was Yeshua. You got to call on something stronger than yourself. That's true. I ain't nobody, flesh and blood, I cry out. I need water and all of that. But it's a spirit. Ruach. 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 That's what you need. And I'm telling you, it'll deliver you every time. I promise you. That's the greatest supplement, nutrition, and all of that. Beyond meat and vegetables, it's a spirit that'll bring you back. I'm telling you. And the mustard seed, that's just an example. They call it a similitude. Stronger than that. It's built within you. Your creator gave it to you. Call on it. Activate it. Believe in it.
You gotta know.
And then give it to somebody else. That's the whole point. Yeah. Bring you back, but bring back some others that's wavering, that's doubt. Yeah, fear. With fear comes doubt. Put it up. Kadima Ya'umillah. Say that. Kadima Ya'umillah. Kadima Ya'umillah. Kadima Ya'umillah. Diber Devar. You say it and you make it happen. And all these angelic forces, watch, they're hearkening to that. Watch.
Thank you so much.
I pray you hear that.
I do. I'm very emotional right now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Definitely, it's all right. We're all here praying with you. We're all here to help you get strength. You know, that's one thing as a unity consciousness, we all can give. We all can help.
It did touch my heart when Mom Sheriel said, just say it, you know, like empower yourself. Like I really felt that. So
Yeah. You'll be surprised. I've been in situations like that, and where it's just like literally, you just literally say it, and just beyond a shadow of doubt, you just know it, and literally things will shift so fast in my life that I can't even believe it happened. I'm like, wait a minute.
Faster than speeding bullet.
I'm like, did that really happen? You know, and then it's a faith, but it's something we have to practice, and we have to come into a knowing, and the more we practice it on lower levels, the easier it is for us to practice on higher levels. So.
Can you say that phrase again? Kadima Yah?
Kadima Yah Umela.
Omila, L-E-H.
It means call on the Lord and let it be. Kadima means go forth before me. In other words, something greater than myself.
Yes.
And then let it be. Cause, hey.
That's detachment.
You know what I'm saying? We got this. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That comes from our ancestors. That's that kind of spirit that caused the sister to jump over the ship. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be with the sharks than with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. It's more forces with us than it are. We don't see them, but there's more forces with us than it is with them. You got power to call on them. That's the whole thing. It ain't about the physical sun and the moon. It's about a spirit.
Right. And that whole meditation and prayers we were doing today was all about worthiness. So letting you know that you are worthy and you can call on them. Just call on them and know. And then they respond. You know?
I mean, what you got to see a man get up out of his casket? You know what I'm saying? What you want to see? I mean, the man get up. I'm talking to you like a man that got up out of my casket. I'm telling you. This man has seen me. The doctor told him 2 seconds out of the way I would have been dead. I did that 5 times. Now, what more you want? I'm Lazarus.
Amen.
I'm laughing too.
Amen.
I'm telling you. Okay. I don't know.
But we'll always be praying for you, Wayne, seriously.
Yeah.
And giving you that positive energy for you to have strength to be in that faith and that knowing, for you to call down those angels for help. So we'll all be praying. I'll be praying and I'll be in the corner for you for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I see another hand up. Anybody else got something they want to say?
I do, but this is Kim, and I'll just say that I have a couple things.
Mhm.
One, I'm just trying to say, like, when Montreal said, welcome back, like, what did you see? Because I promise you, I was there. Like, you said, welcome back to Earth, when you came back?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
funny.
Like, seriously.
No, we trust me. This one here blast off all the time.
I had tickets about 3 weeks ago. I ain't got no more tickets now. So you just left. You just left in heaven. I'm sorry.
What I'll say to that is that I had some kind of
Oh,
Hey, man, how you doing? How you doing?
can I have about 5 minutes or so?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is bathroom. Yeah, go
Huh?
ahead. Right there. Thank you.
Listen,
They
if
can't
I
see
may,
it, though,
please.
my chair. Oh, let me turn you. I got you.
All right.
Let me move you.
I'm going to see an actor who might take this movie that I wrote, and it might be more penetrating on changing our minds in terms of who we are by using media. It's the story of Job. I said, study the story of Job. Study the story. Because it's as low as this human body can withstand, and this human mind can you know what I'm saying, maintain its faith with the Most High against all of the wiles of the devil, to tempt you with your children, to tempt you with your loved one, to tempt you with everything you believe in. That's what the story is about.
Yeah.
Curse the Most High and die. That's the only way that Satan can overtake you.
That's
The
right.
cold is cursed, the Most High. That's your final release. Give up that, got you. So this works out. We're gonna do something beyond human imagination.
When it works out.
Yeah, when it works, I mean.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
when it works out, exactly.
So we know the outcome of that.
Study down.
They stepped out for a second. Hold tight. He actually walked off like he was Richard Pryor or something. Gone. He put his jacket off.
I know, right?
No benediction or nothing. Y'all figure it out.
Didn't even say it.
That's right. Bow your head. Wake up.
Girl, you crazy.
Look, you know he go to Chicago for me, man. He gone.
changed my life. Like, it is absolutely outstanding and amazing. I can,
Do you want, I can ask Derek to give it to you? Whatever.
or I can pop my nose.
Why did he come out?
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Just because, hey, this is my recommendation. I will send it to you, tell you what happened, like, it's just amazing.
Oh, I appreciate that, Karen. Thank you.
All right, everyone have an awesome day today. Have a good
You
one.
as well.
Thanks, you too.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, she just said that.
Yeah.
Picture.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
yeah, one more thing. I was just there,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I thought that
Yeah,
was,
you
that
can.
was that was the site.
No.
Okay. There's up there.
Alright, y'all see.
Tell
Alright,
Ryan
be
I
safe,
have
Be
guys.
safe.
Alright.
You heard it.
Tell Lee
Tell Lee we said hello.
Okay.
we missed her
We
today.
missed her today, yes.
Yeah, she was out.
Allegedly.
Understood.
Uh,
See you later.
Alright.
He is not bad. He would know
Big.
big. He's just, he's just so, he just seems so calm. I mean, he's always that way. You know, he's always that way. He comes in that way, and he's that way. It's just, is that what it is? Oh, shoot. Everybody needs to live where he lives.
Oh, man,
I know.
All right, y'all be good.
Be
Alright.
safe. Stay out of trouble.
Ah, what that is?
Ah.
You can hear my stomach growling over here.
Oh, that was your
I
stuff.
thought that was my stuff.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
My stuff definitely was doing a couple of songs.
It
was like
I ain't hear anybody else this
Yeah, or wait. How's Daphne? No, that was you last week. Yeah, yeah, last week.
Make me here. When she called to complain, I'm like, oh, you raised them.
All of y'all lost 10 years off of your
Thank you.
aging process.
Thank you.
Glasses? You need your glasses? In front of the fireplace?
Yeah,
Aren't those yours?
that's why I have about 9 pairs.
Oh.
They're all over the place. You know, anywhere in the bathroom, everywhere I go. Thank you. Have a blessed,
You too. Say,
very blessed day. I'm super high in spirit.
You don't put your shoes on?
It's amazing.
You gonna put your
Where's
shoes
your
on?
shoes? Where your
I
shoes?
ain't no shoes. I'm about to fly.
All right, fly.
Oh, Lord. Miss Barbara.
In total sincerity, I have been invited to share my
What you just say, I
experiences
said,
to
that's for you.
President
That was
Ghana
meant for you.
Okay.
so that they can stand up against this whole European, French, Italian onslaught to offer aid to Africa in the form of yeah.
Yeah.
So the holistic healers around the planet are now providing formulas, experience, and all of that to strengthen our people to stand against being, I call it inoculated,
Yeah, exactly right.
dumbed down, and all of that, right?
How about murdered?
Yeah,
Murdered too.
right. So that's where we at right now. That's what this is all about at this moment. You know, it's the African mind and our spirit, our history, and our relationship with our Creator against the European. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
And one of us, one of the leaders of Africa have already submitted to invite them in, right? Everybody else has stood against it. Y'all be blessed.
You as well.
Yeah, I saw you doing that. I saw you.
No, I felt the drums when he was playing. No, he was part of the music.
Oh, the music as we're
The
coming
music,
out.
he turned on some drums. And drums came on. Now that hit me.
Are you?
Ooh.
Nothing.
Oh, that's her.
Oh. Yes, I guess, yeah.
Thank you, Ashley. Bye,
You're welcome.
everyone.
You
Have a
can
great
use
day.
it. Just be careful when you first use it
You
to
got
make sure
sore.
that you're not allergic or anything.
Got it. I'm gonna set the intention for it.
Oh, I bathed in it, so I was good. I was like, okay, get in here.
If I cleansed it, I already put your intention on. That's for you.
Just received.
Literally, is Miss Barbara is what I wrote in my book.
Well, I received this.
Miss Barbara's
all.
oil.
I know.
Right.
Looks like we, look, like you ready to sweep up the place. I guess we
I
kind
know,
of
I guess we're closing down the
That's
place.
right.
Is he coming back?
I think so. He's.
No telling.
Are they still online?
No, I think everybody
You
left.
guys are still hanging on.
Oh, I thought
Sorry.
Yeah, we don't know where
Should I
they
take it? I'll take it to him,
Yes,
so he
you
can
do.
close it out.
I'll take you guys to him outside.
So
Oh, I
he
see
can
you
say,
get
Hell no.
the jails was enough.
Yeah,
Barely got to
that was
that.
more than enough.
Why you got a lot of socks?
These are a piece of crap. I hate these socks now. I just
Oh,
bought them yesterday. I hate them
Why
already.
you got all them socks?
They're supposed to stay on your heel, and they keep sliding down. They
Yeah,
irritate
mine
me
had
bad. I hate
those
them.
little ped things.
I was like, oh, they weren't. Good thing they were on sale in Costco, but they still nothing worse than your socks sliding. Oh, I took all of them off because my feet are going warm outside now.
Oh, oh.
whoop, whoop, whoop. Da, ba, ba, da. Somebody stole my food. Somebody stole my food.
Hold on.
What you mean?
Like they took my lunchbox.
At work.
Yes. I went in
You
there.
seen that commercial?
I went in there. I was like, yeah, I got me some blueberries, some plantains, everything, avocado.
That's
some
why I
tea.
don't use those business, cause people do.
I went in there, gone.
I have to get the report and get that to you.
I came out dropping all
For sure,
kinds of
for sure.
We didn't know it
Okay, you too. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, they were waiting.
Yeah, Marlena told him that you would be right back.
Yeah, we had.
He left like Richard. He left us.
Look, Marlena said he'll be right back, and then you never came back. Marshariel left, like when you walked out the door, he walked to the kitchen. And so the thing was just kind of there, we were like,
He left us. He left.
Well, I was going out to deliver some stuff.